G'day, Aussie Bonsai Bloke here going. Today I'm going to be talking about the old dreaded subject of weeding. Probably the worst, most annoying job there is in bonsai, and I don't know, you seem to spend 50% of your time doing it. So worst part of bonsai is weeding. I hate it, absolutely hate weeding. Keep getting away from me all the time. And as you can see, I've got a different sort of variety of trees here with weeds. We've got the one in the middle, it's not so bad, just a few around the edges, a few on top. We've got the one on the end, which is really bad with weeds, and got this one here, which is not too bad either. I'm not going to completely weed them all in front of you and bore you with that, because that would probably be worse than having to weed yourself. Anyway, I had a viewer comment, you know, I haven't seen my dog for a while, so I just thought I'd show you the dog. Well, we're outside too with the mic going, so we'll see how that goes. Not much wind, but got the sock on. I brought a bit of food out here, try and trick the dog into saying hello. He's over there chewing on a stick like he always does. Leo, come. Leo. We'll see if we can get him up here. Leo, up. No. Come up. Leo, here. Up. Good boy, sit. Good boy. It's a good boy. Ready? Shake hands. Shake hands. Good boy. Sit down. Sit down. Sit. Shake hands. Good boy here. Hey, Leo's going alright. He's been a good dog so far. Very friendly, good with the kids, good with the cat. Annoys the cat sometimes, but he's alright. What's your bud, hey? Hey? Sit down. Sit down. Sit. No, sit down. Good boy. Hey, we need to do a bit more training with you, I think, buddy. Getting a bit slack on the old training with the dog. Starting to take a few privileges. Sit down. Good boy. Shake. Good boy. There you go. Good boy. Thank you for saying hello, bud. I'm all gone. We're finished. No? We're finished. It's gone crazy. So anyway, we got different variety of weeds. I'll show you how I deal with each one, from the not so bad to the really bad. So I'll maybe do a bit of a close-up. Oh, first I was going to say I did a video at work today, just to show you where I work in the vineyard, and basically I'll explain it all on the video. Only a snippet of what I do, but anyway, I thought I'd just show you that too, because someone else is asking, they'd like to see what I do for a day job. So I thought I'd show that as well. So cheers to that. And after you've seen that, let's get to the weeding. Cheers. Well, g'day. I'm just going to show you around work. Just a few little jobs planting the nursery. Basically we got 400 acres of vines we look after, and we plant about 2.5 million vines a year, and I'll just show you a bit of the nursery work planting them. I won't talk much through it. At the moment I've got myself in the car so no one can hear me talking. I won't talk much through it, but basically I don't think some of them like being filmed, the different nationalities and stuff, so I'll keep it a bit quiet, not make, you know, too many people aware of it. But we'll be right. I'll sneak my way down there and I'll just show you. Basically the digger digs a row, then the tractor goes past and they throw out the vines, which are being kept in vermiculite, and then like through the winter, and then they get pulled out the box. They've already got roots on them. Then we just stab them in the ground, run the dripper line, and water them for the summer. Easy as that. So pretty easy. So I'll just show you a bit of that. Cheers. Alright, let's go. Let's do it. Oh, hang on, this door handle's broken, I forgot. I'll have to wind the window down. So basically they're part of the vines there. We've got 400 acres of those. And then the nursery's behind me here. Goes all the way to that tree line. Over the other side of that road over there. There's some more over there. Anyway, I'll show you around. I'll start to be quiet now. Cheers. Okay, so that's the tractor going. Got to keep it a bit quiet here. Just going past them now. Got to be quiet. Otherwise I'll get in trouble. Running the drip line. Try and keep quiet. Dripper line's going out. Still keeping a bit quiet. There's a tractor down there digging a new row. All the planters. Just got to keep quiet. G'day. Well, got a few people looking at me talking to a bundle here. Think I'm a bit of a whack job. Those people from overseas think I'm a whack job here. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you. So this here gets stored in a box of vermiculite, which is wet or moist. Usually use some water in cans. Chucked in the box for about 3 months. Then you got a bundle of 100 sticks there. And you can see it grows roots on the bottom. Grows roots pretty well. And then it's just simply stabbed in the ground and planted, as you can see. So yeah, even though they're condensedly packed in the box, they still grow roots fine, kept moist. So as you can see, that's it, pretty cool. Put them in the ground, let them grow. Cheers. There you go, and just thought I'd quickly show you how they look in the boxes. They come out of these boxes of vermiculite, all boxed up. Come out of there, we pull them out, and that's how they look. Cheers. Okay, first of all here we got the juniper banana here that needs some weeding. Well, generally I'll use some tweezers, or I guess some sort of pinchers or whatever you call them. And you know, some I'll pull out by hand if they're a bit bigger, or if I know they have a weak root system. Like these things here are quite easy to pull out, whatever they are. You'll learn to know your own weeds. Things like these bloody, I call them, what do I call them again? Creeping oxalis, that's what I call them. I don't know what they actually are, but who cares? That's what I call them, so that's what they are. Basically I'll tweezer some of them up, tweezer off some of this liverwort, pull up what I can in here. Then the trick is with weeding, you got to be on it all the time. You just you go through a slack period, you come back and you got that many weeds that you don't know whether to weed it or repot it or what to do, because it gets that bad. And also you lose interest in trying to look after the tree because you just look at it as too much weeding work, which I have to be honest is the most uninteresting part of bonsai. I love doing bonsai, I love most aspects of it, but weeding certainly is not one of them. Having said that though, you can, if you sit down to weed a few trees, you can get into a bit of a zone and sort of a bit like meditating. It's not too bad, but in general, I hate it. I just want to get in there and work on a tree. I don't want to be mucking around spending hours doing this. I've literally spent hours in the last couple of weeks, maybe, well, I'm going to guess maybe 10 hours, literally just weeding trees. So I thought I'd show you that part of it, because you don't actually see a lot of people do video on weeding trees. Okay, so I'm just pulling them all out with these tweezers. I don't know what you can see. Hopefully you can see something. Okay, this one's actually not too bad. The next tree will be easier for you to see. These little ones pull out easy with my fingers, so I'll pull it out. And if you have too big a weed and you have a hole in your moss, you can elect to put a bit of moss back on it. Or the moss will just cover over anyway, so up to you what you want to do there. Okay, so I'm almost done this one. This one was not too bad. Okay, and then just get the tweezers and pull that one there out. Bit awkward because I'm reaching around mainly so that you guys can see on the camera. You would have seen me at work with the planting crew being a bit quiet because some of them probably get a bit angry if they seen you filming them. Anyway, they'll be right, they won't know about it. Most of them don't even have internet, so they'll never know. Okay, so that's pretty much it, you know, that one's done. And because I've been a bit slack, the weeds come up more often too. If you were to weed all the time, religiously, keep weeding, you know, even if you pick 3 or 4 a night that you weed and you just keep rotating around all your trees, eventually you're not going to get as many weeds coming up. You're going to start getting on top of them and it won't be so bad. You'll always have weeds, but it might be more manageable. My problem is I let it get out of control, then they flower and, you know, put weed seeds everywhere, and before you know where you are, all your pots are covered in weed again. Just get too busy. But anyway, I'm going to try and stay on top of it now. So that's that one done. You can see the weeds gone, just the moss now. It's not a bad looking tree, it's sort of slowly coming along. Oops, I'm just seeing a couple more weeds in the front. And I'm just going to, you know, go through and try and keep on top of all my plants now. Keep the weeds out. Okay, so that's that. And you know, while you're weeding it, lets you sort of have a good look around the tree, see if there's anything that needs doing. So that's that one done. Now I'll get the hawthorn. You can see the nice moss on this, beautiful moss at the back here. It's got this really nice coloured moss here. So what I'm going to do here, once again, I'll just make sure that I'm still in the film, yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the creeping oxalis out with these pair of tweezer things. Really get in there, it's really hard to grab. If you grab it with your fingers, you sort of can, but you get sore fingers after a while having to squeeze so tight with your fingers. Find these tweezers, just make it that little bit easier. Try not to damage your moss, you want to keep your moss looking nice. Especially on this tree, the moss looks really good. So I'll get rid of this liverwort as well. Pull up these Creepinopsalis. All coming up. And yeah, like I say, you do get in a bit of a zone and sort of tune out. And if you really had enough, you can have a suckle on the old beer. That fixes everything. So I'm just pulling it all out. Feel free to fast forward, but it is good to see all aspects of bonsai, good and bad. So this video I plan on just weeding and showing you at work. And I reckon the next, well no, the dog's digging around the camera, that's not good. Then I reckon the next video I might even do a spring tour, because it's getting to that time where a lot of stuff's shot or starting to shoot. May not quite be ready for a spring tour. Some things still haven't shot. This one here is just shooting. Might have a nice array of flowers this year, the white flowers that the hawthorn get. I can already see flower pods all over it, seed pods or flower heads or whatever you want to call them, flower heads. I can already see them all over it, so again, we could get a good flowering of this one this year. It had a pretty hard summer, and lucky this one shot out just after the major frost that we had. We had a fairly major late frost, and it's burnt back a lot of stuff, like I said, the bottle brush and all that sort of stuff. A few of the prunus. The pomegranate copped it really bad. I'll show you all that anyway in the next video. Do a bit of a spring tour. I might even do 2 spring tours, one now and one in another sort of month, which will almost be like a late spring tour. You can see this moss here is just beautiful, really nice. Feels awesome. I really quite like this one here with the whites in it. Beautiful. Got to be careful with this hawthorn too, not to let the moss go up the trunk too much, because this flakes off its bark really easy, this thing. So I might come through with some vinegar later and put some straight vinegar on it, being careful not to let it go down the trunk. Might let you guys in on a bit of a secret when I get really behind on weeding. I know some people out there are anti-chemicals. I mean, at the end of the day, water's a chemical, H2O. But anyway, some people are anti-chemical, but I'm going to let you in on a bit of a controversial secret. Sometimes when I get really behind, and it's like the next tree that I'm going to show you, I'll even ant just bit my leg, damn it. I'll even spray some contact burning spray on top of some sort of fast knockdown stuff on top of the actual soil and the moss. And what it does is it actually kills the weeds, and the moss always comes back, the weeds die. But because it's just a contact spray, even if you were to accidentally get some on the leaves of the tree, it would only burn off the leaves that you hit with it. And that's a really efficient way, if you get way behind, that's a really efficient way to just go around and spray a heap of trees. I did a bit of an experiment on it last summer when I got way behind, and to be honest, it helped me out. It got rid of a lot of weeds and got things back under control. I'm not going to recommend everyone go out spraying their trees, but make sure it's one of those ones that burn the outside of the leaf, just takes the film off so that then they dehydrate. Make sure it's one of those and not a Not something like a Roundup. Never use a Roundup in your pot, although I have heard some people do. And that's not ideal, because I believe that stuff does get in the soil a bit. I'm happy to use it around the garden though, just not in the bonsai pots. Anyway, so that's this one nearly done. I don't know too, you know, you could probably nearly get like a some sort of a pre-emergent and do like a pre-emergent program where once every month you put in a pre-emergent into your bonsai pot. You know, once again, I haven't actually tried that, so don't go out and just do it. But you know, if you've got a crappy tree, you want to experiment, see whether it gets weeds with a pre-emergent, you could maybe get some sort of, you know, like a pre-emergent for lawns, and just put it on the surface of your pot. Do regular applications every month. I think normally they recommend every few months, but because you're going to be, you know, obviously watering your pots a lot, you got to wash it out quick too. So you can try that and see whether you get less weeds. But once again, I don't recommend it. By far the best method is just to be regularly on it, weeding like I am now, and then you know you're not going to run into too much trouble because you're not putting anything in the pot. And to be honest, even the pots that I sprayed, after the weeds had died, there were still worms and fungi and all that stuff sort of popping up, mushrooms, so toadstools, so it kind of affected the soil too much, and I was desperate. Anyway, so that's another one done. You can see, all done. Got all that beautiful moss looking at us now. All the weeds are out. That's all you need to do. So that's some of the hawthorn bark in here, mixed in there. Would have flaked off, fallen in the moss. Now it's gonna put some nutrients back into the soil, I suppose. Feed the soil. Alright, so that's that one. Let's move on to the last one, the worst one, and I'll show you how I deal with that. Okay, now look at that. Absolutely embarrassing. That's what you call some weeds. And that's not actually the worst one I got, it's just a little bit more manageable size. Right, what I do when I got these, and they're just too bad. There is a bit of nice moss there, but basically what I do now, I've decided it's too bad. I'll actually scrape the top layer of soil off, or all the weeds off with a hook, just a root hook. I'll have it sideways, and I'll actually just scrape it off, and I'll go around the whole tree like this, just scraping it off, being careful for any, you know, nabari and that, just be careful for that, but you do want to get in there and scrape all these weeds out. Just scrape off the top ½ inch or so of the soil. Pull out some of these creeping oxalis. You'll have to pull them out with your hands, because they go deep, well deep into the pot. Too deep to be able to dig out. You can only get them out when you repot a tree. But I find that if you do this, and then chuck some moss on it, and then, you know, look after it once you've got some good covering of moss, generally most of your problems go away. So this is a Turkish oak. You can see I just bend it down. You can see it's had a problem with the frost. All crispy leaves, and this one didn't even get burnt that bad. It's not too bad. Turkish oak. So here we got it not too bad, so I'll leave that moss right there at the front. Okay, so I'm going to go through and scrape that all off. I won't bore you with the whole process, but that's basically it. Go through, scrape it off, and just take that whole, just peel up that whole layer of weeds. Get rid of the whole lot. You can see that. Pull out some that you can. Okay, you should never let it get like this, but I'm sure, you know, as much as everyone tells you don't let it get like this, I'm sure everyone has a period where they get too slack and this happens. I'm sure everyone does. If not, well, I must just be very slack. Pretty slack on the old housekeeping. Okay, so once I got it to that, I won't bore you with the whole process, but I'll chuck the moss on. Find a new bit of moss, which I've collected from the yard, which I've shown you before, collecting the moss. And I'll just re-moss the whole tree. Just re-moss it, put some new moss down. Bit of a weed there that I missed. Okay, so I'll go through and do all of that, and then I'll see you at the end of the video. Cheers. Okay, so got the new moss on. Just going to give it a bit of a water in. Let it settle in. And within no time at all, it'll probably be looking as good as the moss on the other trees. We hope. And now if I keep on the weeding, we should be right. Keep on the weeding, it shouldn't get back to what it was. That's my plan. I know plans change and I'll probably end up busy and same bloody trouble I've had just now. You can see the moss on that, it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That one I have kept on, the weeding. That's pretty cool. So that's the hawthorn. You can see the shoots coming out, flower buds. Other flower buds. There's lots of them, all flower buds. So hopefully it puts on a good display. It's just starting to shoot out. Then obviously we got that one. Weeded that. Now the newly mossed tree where I've cleared off the weeds and got the moss on. Now I just got to keep on it. No worries. That's weeding. You can see me big pile of weed here because I've been weeding for a couple of days here, or a few days. And that's all weed out the pot. Still got a few to go. I'll just show you a bad one, a real bad one. Okay, so this is an air layer of a kumquat tree. You can see it's actually got flowers on it. Once again, that one got a bit burnt in the frost as well. But anyway, look at that pot. It's bad. But these ones are actually easier to pull out because this is just in plain potting mix and not in a bonsai pot. And the weeds are actually easier to get rid of. So one like that, I'll just quickly just pull them out like that. Go around the whole tree like that. Shake the dirt back in. So yeah, like I say, this one was an air layer. Yeah, just work fast like that. Pull out the residue just so they don't reshoot. And like I say, I've got to keep on it. So some of them are not bad, you know, like that one. Didn't take that long. Done. Easy. It's a shoot from the other tree, not a weed. Right. Anyway, so that's a bad one. There's actually a few weeds here I can pull out. Done. There's another bad one. Another bad one. Another bad one. Another bad one. Some of them not too bad. I'm working my way around slowly, so just bear with me. Cheers. Oh, cheers for watching, Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell all your mates. Help me get some more views up. And that's about it. Share the video. Cheers. And thanks for watching. Look at those dirty weeding hands. No worries. Catch you next time.